कृष्ण भजन करेंगे ओम के साथ, मेडली जैसा है। उसके बाद हम लोग आपको पुट्टपर्ती लेके जाएंगे, वर्चुअल टूर, पुट्टपर्ती वर्चुअल टूर हम लोग लेके जाएंगे। फर्स्ट इंदिरा सुब्रमण्य, साईराम। इंदिरा ओम से स्टार्ट कीजिए।
स्टार्ट करो।
यस, ओम 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 बोल के स्टार्ट कीजिए।
ओके ओके। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्तवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पद आनश्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वदेवादेवेद्वादिनीवती देनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। ராஜா
மாமி சாய்ராம்.
ராஜா அன்மியூட் பண்ணுப்பா.
பண்ணியாச்சு.
பண்ணியாச்சு. நந்தலால் 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 யதோ நந்தலால் नंदलाल 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 गेदो नंदलाल नंदलाला नवनीत चोरा नंदलाला नवनीत चोरा राधा प्यारे नंदलाल राधा प्यारे नंदलाल माई मेरा मानस चोरा माई मेरा मानस चोरा पति विहारी नंदलाल हृदय विहारी नंदलाल नंदलाला 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 नंद गोप नंदन श्री नंदलाला नंद गोप नंदन श्री नंदलाला नंद कुमारा नंदलाला नंद कुमारा नंदलाला नवनीत चोरा नंदलाला नवनीत चोरा नंदलाला नंदलाला साई नंदलाला नंदलाला साई नंदलाला नंद गोप नंदन श्री नंदलाला नंद गोप नंदन श्री नंदलाला नंदानंदन हरि गोविंद गोपाल नंदानंदन हरि गोविंद गोपाल घनश्याम मन मोहना घनश्याम मन मोहना घनश्याम मन मोहना गोपिलोला गोपाला गोपिलोला गोपाला गोकुल बाला गोपाला गोकुल बाला गोपाला हे नंदलाला गोपाला हे नंदलाला गोपाला घनश्याम मन मोहना घनश्याम मन मोहना घनश्याम मन मोहना घनश्याम मन मोहना मोहन कृष्ण मधुसूदन कृष्ण मोहन कृष्ण मधुसूदन कृष्ण माधव कृष्ण साई यादव कृष्ण माधव कृष्ण साई यादव कृष्ण मथुरा नाथ मुरलीधर मथुरा नाथ मुरलीधर मधुर मधुर साई तु मनोहरा मोहन कृष्ण मधुसूदन कृष्ण माधव कृष्ण साई यादव कृष्ण मनमोहना मुरलीधरा मनमोहना मुरलीधरा मधुर मधुर हे गिरिधर बाला मधुर मधुर हे गिरिधर बाला माधवा मधुसूदन माधव मधुसूदन हृदयांतरंगा श्री साई रंगा हृदयांतरंगा श्री साई रंगा श्री साई रंगा पुटपति रंगा श्री साई रंगा पुटपति रंगा पुरंदर रंगा हरे विठला पुरंदर रंगा हरे विठला पंढरी रंगा हरे विठला पंढरी रंगा हरे विठला पुरंदर रंगा हरे विठला नरहरि रंगा हरे विठला मुरहर रंगा हरे विठला मुरहर रंगा हरे विठला पुरंदर रंगा हरे विठला विठला हरि 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 विठला पांडुरंग विठले हरिनारायण पुरंदर विठले हरिनारायण हरिनारायण भजो नारायण हरिनारायण भजो नारायण साई नारायण सत्यनारायण साई नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण 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 भजमन नारायण श्री हरि माधव नारायण भजमन नारायण श्री हरि माधव नारायण भजमन नारायण मुरली श्याम मोहन श्याम मुरली श्याम मोहन श्याम मुरली मोहन श्याम तेरे नाम हे भगवान सद्गुरु साई नाम तेरे नाम है भगवान सद्गुरु साई नाम अलग निरंजन भव भय भंजन नारायण नारायण अलग निरंजन भव भय भंजन नारायण 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 श्रीमन नारायण अलग निरंजन भव भय भंजन नारायण नारायण साई नारायण नारायण सत्य नारायण नारायण गान लोल प्रभु नारायण गान लोल नारायण दीन बाल जय नारायण दीन बाल जय नारायण साई नारायण नारायण साई राम
It was very nice, Indraji. Super. And now we are going to Puttaparthi virtual tour. Naveen Raja.
When the word spirituality or God is mentioned, the first country that comes to mind is India. Century after century, India indeed has been the chosen land for many a divine incarnation. There are places in this country which are spiritual powerhouses. One such super sanctuary of peace is Prashanti Nilayam in the town of Puttaparthi in South India. It is the abode of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Named by him, Prashanti Nilayam literally means the place pulsating with supreme peace. Thousands throng this spiritual town every day, some as spiritual seekers, some seeking solutions for their varied problems, some as curious visitors, and for some, it is their wholesome holiday destination to rejuvenate their body, mind, and soul. Prashanti Nilayam is open for all. It celebrates every religion, respects every culture, and welcomes people of all races, all lands, and all languages. It is located in the Anantapur district of Andhra Pradesh. This railway station is well connected to all major cities of India. Once you alight, there are a host of buses or three-wheeler auto rickshaws to bring you to Prashanti Nilayam, which is 9 kilometers away. As you make this journey, the first imposing edifice to greet your eyes is the unique super speciality hospital. This was built in 1991. Here, advanced cardiac, ortho, ophthalmic, urology, and plastic surgeries are done absolutely free of cost. The Sri Satya Sai Airport too was built in 1991, 4 years before the railway station. It is generally used for the private planes of dignitaries. As you cross the Ganesha statue at the Enumalapalli cross, soon the Vidyagiri road begins. This is the main road, on either side of which are various educational institutions. But before this is the Sri Satya Sai Gokulam that Bhagwan started in 1975. It has close to 100 milk-yielding cows who nourish the health of hundreds of students and devotees. The friendly staff at the Gokulam will let you visit some of these cows if you wish to. Now as you begin your journey on the Vidyagiri main road, you cannot miss the architecture of the Music Museum of the Sri Satya Sai Mirpuri College of Music. This museum is not for visitors. Still, you will delight in its enchanting facade. This college offers multiple courses in Carnatic and Hindustani music. The next building on the left, with several extensions, is the Sri Satya Sai Hostel for senior boys. Each one lives for the other, and all live for God, is the philosophy of this home of students pursuing from undergraduate to postgraduate, PhD, and postdoctoral programs. Adjacent to this is the Srimati Ishwaramma Higher Secondary School. Named after Bhagwan Baba's mother, it caters to the primary and secondary school education needs of the local children and hence has no hostel. With a huge engraving of Lord Dakshinamurti, this building in the same line is the Sri Satya Sai Higher Secondary School for boys from grade 8 to 12. In 2014, it was adjudged one of the top 10 CBSE schools of India. Behind the school building is a famous Hillview Stadium, which in 1997 hosted an international cricket match between India 11 and World 11. Apart from a world-class cricket field, it has a spacious football ground. This is where the sports and cultural meets of the Sai educational institutions happen on January 11th every year. In the pinnacle of the stadium is the 65-feet Hanuman, which is an engineering marvel. Below this, you have imposing statues of several divine incarnations representing all major faiths of the world. In the northwest corner of the stadium is the Chaitanya Jyoti, a much sought-after place of interest for every pilgrim. Its design is a fusion of ancient and modern world architecture. In it, you have the life, mission, and message of Bhagwan Baba through images, graphics, animations, audio, and video presentations. Timing, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday holiday. Besides the Chaitanya Jyoti, the building with the bewitching statue of little Krishna is the primary wing of Sri Satya Sai Higher Secondary School. This is a school cum hostel for girls studying in grade 1 to grade 12 and for boys from grade 1 to grade 7. On the other side of the road, the series of buildings with statues of goddess Saraswati and Ganesha are part of the Prashanti Nilayam campus of Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, a deemed to be university. All the undergraduate, postgraduate, doctoral programs, as well as professional courses in this college are offered absolutely free. An integral part of the college campus is the indoor stadium, which is a sportsman's delight, with international standard facilities for students in pursuit of badminton, table tennis, volleyball, basketball, squash, and lawn tennis. Though the facilities here are meant only for the students, visitors can spend time in the commemorative building of the stadium, which gives an overview of Bhagwan's education mission. Timings 10 to 11:30 a.m. on all days. Right beside this is the very special resting place of Sai Geeta, Baba's pet elephant. The stories of her devotion to Baba are legendary. For every devotee, she remains as an eternal inspiration. In the same compound is a Sri Satya Sai Space Theatre, inaugurated by Bhagwan in 1985. It is part of the university, but is open for visitors. Needless to say, like most services in Puttaparthi, it is free. Timings 9:30 a.m. on all days. The second arch marks the end of this stretch of road which houses all the schools and college buildings, and therefore aptly called the Vidyagiri Road. As you leave the Vidyagiri complex, a road on the left takes you to a historic site wherein there is a huge banyan tree. It is the Vatavriksha, a boon for spiritual aspirants, because in 1959, Baba installed under this tree a mystic copper plate with supernatural powers to help spiritual seekers in their meditation. As you go up further on this road, the white and grey structure with Shikhara style of architecture is the Sanatana Samskruti Museum. It houses the main precepts of the major religions of the world, alongside the life and teachings of many sages, saints, and spiritual masters. Adjacent to this museum is the elegant administrative block of the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. The Chancellor's room in this building contains many precious memorabilia related to Baba's earthly sojourn. This, however, is not open to general public, but to special interest groups with prior permission. Beside this is the Sri Satya Sai Archives, inaugurated in November 2018. Inside it are scientifically designed exclusive vaults for various types of media: audio, video, photos, documents, and so on. This is the central storehouse of all archival material concerning Baba's life, mission, and teachings. On the way down from the hill to one side is the Sai Srinivas guest house, meant for highly esteemed dignitaries like presidents and prime ministers. On the other side is the Sri Satya Sai General Hospital, one of the earliest institutions set up by Bhagwan. Inaugurated in 1956 as a rudimentary healthcare facility, it has grown over the years to have 9 departments and over 125 beds catering to all primary and secondary healthcare needs of the rural population around Puttaparthi. All services here too have been offered free of cost right from the beginning. In the compound of this hospital is a serene shrine dedicated to Shirdi Sai. Along the way, we pass by the bus stand, which has regular buses to Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Anantapur, Chennai, and a host of other towns and cities on a daily basis. There is also an extension counter of the Indian Railways at the bus stand. The entrance to the Prashanti Nilayam ashram is just a few meters away. This is the eastern gate and the main entrance to the ashram for all the pilgrims. As you go down the road comes a huge gopuram, the ceremonial entrance of the ashram. This gate is called Gopuram Gate and is used largely for vehicular entrance into the ashram. Before we go into the ashram, let's explore a little the village of Puttaparthi. The Prashanti Nilayam township came into being in 1950. The ashram then was in the outskirts of the village, but now the village has grown into a bustling international pilgrim center. The main attractions on this side of Puttaparthi are the historic temples, the oldest one being the Satyamma temple. This shrine is dedicated to the village goddess Satyamma or Satyabhama. Another old place of worship for the villagers is the Venugopala Swami temple. This one is dedicated to Lord Krishna. Puttaparthi was earlier called Gollapalli as it was abundant with cows and cowherds, reminiscent of the times of Lord Krishna. In the same cluster of holy places is also located the temple of Lord Hanuman. Though the main deity is Hanuman, there are several other shrines in the temple courtyard, including the Navagrahas or the 9 planets of fortune. Close by is the Shivalayam, adored as the birthplace of Bhagwan Baba. Bhagwan was born on November 23rd, 1926. While all these shrines are at the end of Gopuram Road of Puttaparthi, the street next to it is the Samadhi Road. A must-visit site here is the sacred resting place of Baba's earthly parents, Srimati Ishwaramba and Sri Pedda Venkapparaju. Baba visited the Samadhi every year on May 6th, on the day of the passing of his mother, and fed the poor and distributed clothes to the needy. We now come back to the main entrance of the ashram. The road in front of this is the Chitravati Road. Towards the end of the street, on top of a little hillock which oversees the river Chitravati, is the Kalpa Vriksha. If you are game for a healthy trek of 200-odd steps, you will love this spiritual adventure. As a little child, Baba gave whatever his playmates wished from the branches of this tree, from out-of-season fruits to pens and sweets. It is therefore called the wish-fulfilling tree. River Chitravati is the sacred stream on the banks of which Baba played in his childhood. In fact, it was on these sands that any number of devotees were witness to amazing manifestations of divinity and grace decade after decade. Every Thursday evening, a bhajan and aarti is done here in reverence of this holy river. Let's now take this road and finally enter the Prashanti Nilayam ashram. As you step in, you are welcomed by Lord Ganesha. Prayer sessions of the ashram begin from here early in the morning every day. Next to it is the temple of Lord Subramanya or Kartikeya or Muruga, a much revered deity in South India. For the convenience of visitors, a branch of the accommodation office is present right at the entrance. Pilgrims who wish to stay in halls, which have comfortable beds, can check in here itself. The main accommodation office is located next to the North 9 block. Indian and overseas visitors who would like to stay in rooms can contact the office here. Coming now to food, the township offers 3 facilities: a South Indian canteen, a North Indian canteen, and a Western canteen. Food in all these 3 canteens is prepared in a hygienic and devotional environment and offered at much subsidized prices. However, every day, there is a free lunch offered as prasadam to any devotee who joins the prayer sessions in the morning, where these coupons are given. These free meals are served in the Nitya Annadana Seva building, which is next to North 4 block. There is also a shopping complex, which is a veritable supermarket stocked with provisions, clothes, toiletries and vegetables to all items of daily use. Additionally, there is a bakery, popcorn unit, snacks counter, ice cream stall, tender coconut stall, and coffee shops at various places in the ashram. If you are looking for literature on Baba, or audio-video products, or pictures of Baba to take home with you, you have the aesthetically designed publication division of the Sri Satya Sai Sadhana Trust. There are books in more than 25 languages in this complex. In the same building, there is also a library cum reading room for those who love to be quiet and spend time reading. The office of Sanatana Sarathi, the ashram monthly magazine, is also housed in this building. The ashram's media house is Radio Sai, which offers 24/7 radio channels in English and Telugu, apart from a number of audio and video productions which are served to the devotees through their website www.radiosai.org. Large spaces inside the ashram premises have been turned into lovely gardens. In these peaceful spaces are located the temples dedicated to Mother Gayatri and Mother Lakshmi. There is also a Sarva Dharma garden with its beautiful statue of Umbrella Ganesha and beautiful sculptures of Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus, and so on. The Prashanti Nilayam township is an eco-friendly, self-sufficient community. Thanks to the Sri Satya Sai Mitra project launched by the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust, not only are all major institutions, be it the hospitals, schools and colleges, but every building complex inside the ashram planned to be completely powered by solar energy by 2020. There are sewage treatment plants to recycle water, which is used for the lawns and gardens. The efficient water management and adoption of water harvesting techniques have ensured that the ashram never runs out of water, even though it is located in a potentially dry district of Andhra Pradesh. This township has been built by dedicated selfless service of volunteers called Seva Dals, who come from all states of India on a rotation basis. It is they who have nurtured the ashram with great love and devotion. The men with blue scarves and women in orange scarves are present in all areas of the ashram to facilitate all the activities of the ashram in serving the pilgrims. The heart of Prashanti Nilayam, the powerhouse of this place, is the Sai Kulwant Hall, where hundreds and thousands every day prostrate at the Mahasamadhi of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. This is the hall where millions have seen Baba, touched him, talked to him, and have been transformed by his pure love. And this story continues even today. Every morning at 8, prayer sessions begin here with Veda chanting, followed by Bhajans for half an hour till 9:30 a.m. After this, devotees can come closer to the Samadhi and even touch the shrine as they offer their prayers. In the evenings, the Veda chanting begins every day at 4:30 p.m. and after 45 minutes begin Bhajans, which go on till 6 p.m. Devotees are again allowed to go near the Samadhi till 7 p.m. when the second Arati is reverentially done as a last prayer offering for the day. Right behind this sanctum is yet another space of immense sanctity, which is generally called the Bhajan Hall. In earlier times, this is where Baba used to sit during the Bhajan sessions. This is indeed the inner sanctum sanctorum of Prashanti Nilayam, wherein the main altar is a beautiful silver idol of Shirdi Sai. Every single day, prayers are done here in a ritualistic manner. Devotees are allowed entry to this hall during the Suprabhatam at 4:30 a.m. as well as during the morning puja and rituals which go on till 7:30 a.m. Beside the Sai Kulwant Hall is the Purna Chandra Auditorium, a huge pillarless hall. This is where major public functions were held till the mid-1990s, that is, before Sai Kulwant Hall came into being. Even in the Later years, a 7-day-long Dasara Yajnam always happened in this hallowed premises. This celebration continues here even now. In front of the Purnachandra Hall is the 50-feet Sarvadharma Stupa, inaugurated by Bhagavan on his 50th birthday in 1975. At its base are the symbols of all major world religions, and on its crown is a fully bloomed lotus symbolizing spiritual enlightenment. This stupa, in a nutshell, represents the universal message of unity that Bhagavan always emphasized. There is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. There is only one language, the language of the heart. There is only one God. He is omnipresent. And the way to attain this all-powerful, all-pervading God, as Baba says, is by sincerely practicing the principle, love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. This is indeed the message engraved in the Samadhi of Bhagavan, and which gets ingrained into the psyche of every person who comes into the Sai fold. No person who steps into Puttaparthi leaves untouched by the purity and serenity of the sacred hamlet. That is why it is called Prashanti Nilayam, the abode of supreme peace.
साई राम। आप सभी लोग आज हम लोग इस वीडियो को प्ले करने का रीज़न क्या है करके, प्रशांति निलयम एक शहर, हम स्वामी जब यंग थे तभी इस शहर को कैसे था, और आज हम हमारे सामने देख पा रहे हैं कि स्वामी ने उसे क्या बदल दिया। ये शायद जन्मदिन, ये जो स्वामी का पर्व चल रहा है, ये एक ऐसा मौका है स्वामी ने क्या क्या दिया है। तो हमने देखा कि प्रशांत निलयम को एक स्मॉल हैमलेट से लेके कितना बड़ा एक पिलग्रिमेज प्लेस बना दिया स्वामी ने। सिर्फ प्रशांति निलयम ही नहीं, अगर हम देखें तो हमारी ज़िंदगी को भी स्वामी ने कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा ट्रांसफॉर्म किया है, जहां हम कुछ और थे और हम स्वामी के फोल्ड में आने कुछ और बन गए। इसी जन्मदिन के पर्व पर स्वामी का जो ये वीडियो ख़त्म हुआ था लास्ट में, लव ऑल सर्व ऑल करके, इसी पे स्वामी ने अपने ज़िंदगी जब भी थे वो स्वामी हमारे साथ, तभी उन्होंने एक दो इम्पॉर्टेंट मैसेजेस या यूँ कहे सेवा एक्टिविटीज़ स्वामी ने इनिशिएट किया था, जिसके ऊपर जो अभी हम देखेंगे। और ये दोनों सेवा एक्टिविटीज़ का वीडियो देखकर हम समझेंगे कि स्वामी हमसे क्या कहना चाहते हैं, ताकि हम लोग इस बर्थडे का पर्व ऐसा नहीं है कि हम समझे कि स्वामी हमें क्या संदेश देना चाहते हैं और स्वामी हमसे क्या करवाना चाहते हैं। तो चलिए हम अगला दो वीडियो देखते हैं, स्वामी के सेवा एक्टिविटीज़ के ऊपर है। साई राम।
Service to man is service to God. Man is not merely a human being, he is the embodiment of divinity. All acts of service done to others are to be treated as service rendered to God.
Water, one of man's greatest necessities. In the modern world, water is often taken for granted. But in many arid areas of the world, the poor have no access to pure water. In portions of southern India, in the rain shadow region of the Western Ghats, there are no major rivers, and the people are dependent on seasonal rainfall. During the rainy season, the canals and lakes usually fill up, for a time supplying the necessary water. But during the dry season, these water sources dry up. The land looks up to the sky, as the local villagers say, and has often presented a depressing scene. Living conditions in these remote villages are very difficult to begin with, but the lack of water can make life unbearable. Often, the only sources of water are terribly polluted. In many villages throughout India, the water has a high fluoride content, which can cause bone deformities and damage to teeth. The villagers have been compelled to use the same water they use for bathing, washing clothes, and watering cattle for their drinking water. In these same remote areas, the water needs to be transported from its source. And often, any water, no matter how polluted or how far away it is, has been used. The suffering of these impoverished villagers is an old phenomenon, but seldom has their cry of anguish been heard in quarters that matter. In Anantapur district in Andhra Pradesh, one of the driest districts in the state, 100 years of appeals to higher authorities brought no relief. But in early 1995, one determined native of this district decided to change things forever. That man is Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Born in the village of Puttaparthi in Anantapur district in 1926, Baba, or Swami as he is known to his devoted followers, holds pure love as the highest guiding principle of life. He has dedicated his entire life to the selfless service of humanity in innumerable ways. Baba launched through the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust a massive project to provide safe drinking water to 731 villages in Anantapur district, covering a population of nearly 1 million suffering villagers.
Governments of Tamil today water supply Anantapur జిల్లా లోపల ఆంధ్రప్రదేశానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి ప్రైమ్ మినిస్టర్ వచ్చి ప్రారంభించడం నిజంగా ఇది చాలా ఆనందించవలసినటువంటి విషయం. It's a joyful occasion that the water project is inaugurated by the Prime Minister who belongs to the state of Andhra Pradesh.
The project, costing nearly $70 million, involved massive excavation, blasting, extensive pipe laying, construction of numerous filtration plants, storage reservoirs, and finally, tens of thousands of pipe outlets in the villages. Baba's spirit of love was infectious, not only enthusing project workers to exert themselves far beyond the call of normal duty, but also spurring the beneficiaries who came forward to cooperate in innumerable ways. This contagious enthusiasm spread to the state and district administration, and the typical bureaucratic delays disappeared. Thanks to Baba's constant and direct personal interest throughout construction, the entire project was completed in the record time of 18 months.
No matter how gigantic the task, you will succeed, for I shall be with you all the way. Love must express itself as service. Always seek the welfare of mankind.
In 1998, the facilities and works associated with the drinking water project in Anantapur were handed over to the state of Andhra Pradesh. The Anantapur project proved to be just the beginning, when in 1999, Baba turned to the northern districts of Medak and Mahabubnagar that also were plagued by acute shortage of drinking water. Here, Baba provided relief to over 321 villages and helped eliminate the suffering of over 1 million villagers. Thanks to Baba, for millions living in these remote villages, clean, safe drinking water is now available to them throughout the year, at their doorstep and free of charge. Baba has made sure that an autonomous board, free from external forces of any kind, manages the waterworks in these regions. As a result, the villagers are not only getting water, but they've also been empowered. An added benefit to the local economies is the fact that many of the villagers have received training and employment with the agency maintaining the waterworks. But the need for pure drinking water is not only in the remote villages of India. Satya Sai Baba has now embarked on the monumental task of solving the drinking water problem of the huge metropolitan city of Chennai, with a population of over
మంచినీరు అందించాలని నేను సంకల్పించుకుంటున్నాను.
Let it be very difficult. Let it be a stupendous, magnificent task. Bhagavan has decided to supply drinking water to Madras.
The drinking water projects, executed thus far by the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust, constitute the largest of such projects ever completed by an organization outside the government. Strong determination, combined with pure and selfless love, can really work wonders, as Baba has demonstrated indeed in all his projects. Relief projects do not always have to be as monumental as these have been. Sai Baba has said that what the world needs now are individuals dedicated to loving service of their fellow man. With this selfless love and the spirit of dedication to serve, much can be achieved.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, ఈ విద్యార్థులు యువకులు విలేజ్ సేవలకై పోతున్నారు. గ్రామ సేవయన్న రామసేవయ సుమా. పల్లె పల్లెను పోండి, బీద వాళ్ళని కూడా సాధించండి. ఆకలితో బాధపడేటువంటి వారికి ఇంత పట్టడి అన్నం పెట్టండి. ఈనాడు లోకం లోపల కష్టాలు నష్టాలు దుఃఖాలు పడేటువంటి వారి బాధలంతా నివారణ గావించి ఆ సేవ యొక్క అనుగ్రహాన్ని వారు అందిస్తారని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నాను. ది బెస్ట్ వే టు లవ్ గాడ్ ఈజ్ టు లవ్ ఆల్, సర్వ్ ఆల్.
हर प्राणी में साई, हर प्राणी में बाबा, सब प्रेम करो, सब प्रेम करो, मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा, मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा, मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा.
ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా, సాయిని సంతోష పెట్టేటువంటివి సేవలే, సాయి చేసేటువంటిది కూడాను సేవలే, సాయి చెప్పేటువంటిది కూడాను సేవలే. ఈ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క ఉత్తమ భావములతో విశాలమైన హృదయములతో సమాజంలో ప్రవేశించి సేవలు సలపండి. అదే సాయికి సంతృప్తికరమిచ్చేటువంటిది.
दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा, साई प्रसन्न होगा. दिन दुखियों से प्रेम करो मेरा, साई प्रसन्न होगा. साई मेरा मैं तेरा, ये प्रेम की बहती धारा. साई मेरा मैं तेरा, ये प्रेम की बहती धारा. ये प्रेम की बहती धारा, ये प्रेम की बहती धारा. मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा, मेरा साई प्रसन्न होगा.
మనకు భక్తి ఏం కోసం వచ్చింది?
Why are we born?
కేవలం తినటం కోసం, త్రాగటం కోసం, నిద్రించటం కోసం, సుఖించటం కోసం వచ్చింది ఆ జీవితం.
The life birth is not for food, raiment and shelter, for eating and drinking. No.
The best way to love God is to love all, serve all.
The best way to love God is to love all and serve all.
మనం అందరినీ ప్రేమించాలి.
We should love all.
అందరినీ సేవించాలి.
We should serve all.
సేవే మనకు ప్రధానమైనటువంటి కర్తవ్యం.
Service is our duty.
కానీ ఈ డ్యూటీ ఆ డ్యూటీని గవర్నమెంట్ డ్యూటీస్ కాదు మనకు.
It's not official duty or government duty.
తోటి మానవులను సేవించి,
We should serve our
తోటి
fellow
మానవులను
brethren.
ఆనందపరిచి,
We should make brethren
తోటి
happy.
మానవులను సుఖపెట్టడమే మన కర్తవ్యము.
Our duty lies in making our brethren happy.
కనుకనే మొట్టమొదట మనము సర్వీస్ లో ప్రయాణం కావాలి.
First we should take the path of service.
ఈ సర్వీస్ లో మనం ప్రయాణమైనప్పుడే మానవత్వం అనేటువంటిది సార్థకమవుతుంది.
When once we take this journey of service, our life would be redeemed.
హైయెస్ట్ సాధన ఈజ్ టు ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ love into service.
The highest form of sadhana is to transform love into service.
కనుక
So,
మొట్టమొదటి సేవలో మీరు ప్రారంభించి
first start with service.
నేను అనేటువంటి స్థానం నుంచి మనము అనేటువంటి స్థానానికి మీరు చేరండి.
We should start our journey from the point of
అది
I
ఎట్లా
to the
చేరేది అని
point of
ముందు
you.
నేను చెప్తాను.
Bhagavan will tell us in due course of time.
కనుక
So,
మొట్టమొదటి మీకు ఈ ప్రాప్తి చిక్కింది.
you earn this
లోకంలో
good
ఎంతో
life.
మంది ఉంటున్నారు,
In the world
ఎన్నో
there are
లక్షల మంది ఉంటున్నారు, కానీ ఆ ప్రాప్తి మీకు మాత్రమే లభించింది.
There are countless number of people outside world. You are really fortunate to be here.
ఈ లభించినటువంటి యొక్క అవకాశమును సద్వినియోగపరచు.
Make use of this fortune, good luck conferred.
దానిని మీరు 10 మందికి కూడా పంచండి.
And share this joy with everybody.
జగత్తునే సేవించండి.
Serve the whole world.
మనం ఈ ప్రపంచంలో పుట్టింది సేవ కోసం పుట్టాము, కానీ అధికారం కోసం
We
పుట్టలేదు.
are born in this world to serve, not for authority.
ఈ అథారిటీ ఏమిటి? ఈ అథారిటీ
What is this authority?
మనం సేవించడం కోసమని పుట్టాము.
In fact, we are born to serve.
భగవంతుడు పుట్టించిందేదంతా కూడా సేవ కోసమని పుట్టించాడు.
In fact, God's creation is for service.
కనుక సర్వీస్ కోసమనే మనం పుట్టామనే సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించాలి.
Understand the truth that we are born to serve.
సర్వీస్ అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ సర్వీస్, ఈ సర్వీస్, ఆ సర్వీస్, ఈ సర్వీస్ కాదు.
It's not government service or
సర్వీస్
official
ఏమైనా
service.
మీరు చేసుకోండి.
You can serve it that way.
విశ్వ సర్వీసు మానవ సర్వీసే మన సర్వీస్.
And the real service is serving the humanity, human service.
బీదలను ఆదుకోండి.
And help the poor and forlorn.
రోగులను మీరు ఎంతైనా ఉపకారం చేయండి.
And help the sick.
శక్తిహీనులైనటువంటి వారికి శక్తిని అందించండి.
And help those who are weak.
ఊరికి సంపాదించుకొని మన పొట్టలు నింపుకోవటం కోసం కాదు.
You earn and amass wealth and just go by that money.
బయట కూడా పొట్టలు ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళు కోట్ల మంది ఉన్నారనేటువంటి సత్యాన్ని గుర్తించాలి.
Understand there are many poor and needy people outside.
ఎన్ని బాధలు పడుతుంటారు.
There are many suffering people.
అలాంటి దాన్ని మనం ఆదుకోవడానికి తగిన
We
కృషి
should
చేయాలి.
go to the rescue.
అప్పుడే మనం తగినటువంటి యొక్క సార్థక జీవితాన్ని పొందిన వారు.
Then only we will be liberated.
ఆధ్యాత్మికం ఆధ్యాత్మికం అంటే ఏమిటి? అది స్పెషల్ గా ఉండేటువంటిది కాదు.
Spirituality is not a special field.
నిత్య జీవితం లోపల అది మనకు వే ఆఫ్ లైఫ్.
Spirituality is a way of life.
మనం ప్రత్యేకించినటువంటిది కాదు.
It's not separate from our life.
మనం ఒక డిగ్రీ తీసుకోవాలంటే కొంత సబ్జెక్ట్ తీసుకోవాలి.
In fact, to get a degree, you should
కానీ
study one
దీనికి ఏ
subject.
సబ్జెక్టు లేదు.
But there's no subject here.
సబ్జెక్ట్ ఒకటే. లవ్ ఈజ్ బెస్ట్ సబ్జెక్ట్.
In spirituality, there's only one subject, the subject of love.
ఈ లవ్ ను మనం పెంచుకుంటే అన్ని సబ్జెక్టులు దాంట్లో లీనమైపోతాయి.
Then once you develop love, all other subjects will follow.
కనుక ప్రేమ స్వరూపులైన మీరు ప్రేమను పెంచుకోండి.
You are the embodiments of love.
సర్వీస్ ని పెంచుకోండి.
Serve people.
అప్పుడే అన్ని విధాలా మీరు సార్థకమవుతుంది.
Then you will be successful.
साई राम. सो ये जो वीडियोस थे इसके माध्यम से इस स्वामी के 95वें जन्मदिन के पर्व पर हमें यही बताना था या यही बताने का प्रयास था कि हम स्वामी के बारे में सोचे, वापस हम वो प्रशांति निलयम जाए, क्योंकि हम सभी काफ़ी दिन से प्रशांति निलयम से दूर हैं लॉकडाउन के चलते और ये महामारी के चलते. तो हम वो ताज़ा यादें वापस हमारे जहन में लाए जो हमने स्वामी के प्यार में बिताए थे प्रशांति निलयम में. बस उसका एक छोटा सा वीडियो के माध्यम से आप तक पहुंचाना यही हमारा प्रयास था. और उतना ही नहीं, उसके साथ जैसे हमने 2 सेवा एक्टिविटीज़ देखा जिसमें भूख और प्यास ये हर किसी मनुष्य के लिए एक रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, ज़रूरी होता है. तो उस चीज़ को जैसे स्वामी ने हमें दर्शाया अपने ज़िंदगी में कि कैसे सेवा कितनी भी बड़ी क्यों ना हो, अगर दिल में सच्चा प्यार है, सेल्फलेस लव है और दूसरों को सेवा करने का इच्छा है मन में, तो कोई भी बड़ा कार्य, कोई भी बड़ा सेवा हम पार पड़ सकते हैं अगर हम वो समुदाय के लिए करना चाहते हैं. तो यही है कि इस जो पावन पर्व है इस पर हम स्वामी का आखिरी में बताया हुआ जो डिस्कोर्स है उसमें स्वामी ने बताया था कि आध्यात्मिकता कोई एक कठिन सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, बट उसमें सिर्फ एक ही है कि प्यार होना चाहिए, सेल्फलेस लव होना चाहिए जो एक्शन में परिवर्तित होना चाहिए, यानी कि सर्विस, दूसरों को सर्विस करना चाहिए. तो हम ये लव ऑल सर्व ऑल मंत्र हम लोग हमारे दिल में ले इस 95th बर्थडे पर, और इसी तरह सेवा करने का मौका हमें स्वामी जल्दी ही प्रदान करें हम सभी लोगों को. इसी के साथ हमारा एक छोटा प्रयास था ये स्वामी के यादों को वापस से ताज़ा करने का और उनके मैसेज को आप तक पहुंचाने का. आप सभी हमारे साथ जुड़े और वीडियो देखे इतने देर तक, इसके लिए तहे दिल से धन्यवाद. थैंक यू. जय साई राम. मैं चित्रा आंटी को हैंड ओवर करता हूँ अभी. थैंक यू.
परम पवित्रं परम पावनं श्री सत्य साई नामम् आनंददायकं शांति प्रदायकं श्री सत्य साई नामम् वेदागम मूल वेदांत सारं श्री सत्य साई नामम् सर्वमंगला प्रदायकं सर्वोत्तमं श्री सत्य साई नामम् आनन्दामृतवर्षितं आनन्दामृतवर्षितम् अतिमधुरं श्री सत्यसाई नामम् अतिमधुरं श्री सत्यसाई नामम् परम पवित्रं परम पावनं श्री सत्यसाई नामम्
साई राम। थैंक यू राजा, रियली आप है ना हम लोग को पुट्टपर्ती लेके गए। अभी हम लोग को मन लगता है अभी हम लोग कभी जाएंगे करके मन लगता है। ऐसा आप वो सेवा के बारे में किया ना, वीडियो दिखाया, सच्ची आंख से पानी आ गया। सच्ची हम लोग कभी स्वामी आपका जगह देख पाएंगे मालूम नहीं पड़ता। जल्दी ये बीमारी को ठीक कर दीजिए बाबा, हम लोग आपके उधर आने के लिए। साई राम। कल हमारा 2 प्रोग्राम है, आफ्टरनून में एक प्रोग्राम है और इवनिंग में एक प्रोग्राम है। आफ्टरनून का प्रोग्राम 12 to 1 रहेगा, सीनियर मेंबर्स के लिए भजन रहेगा 12 to 1 ने। और उसके बाद इवनिंग में एक प्रोग्राम है, उसके अंदर बाल विकास का भी रखा है, महिला का भी रखा है। बाल विकास का हाफ एन आवर का एक प्रोग्राम है। बॉम्बे से एक सिस्टर, साई सिस्टर, एक कुछ बच्चों लोग के लिए कुछ क्राफ्ट सेशन रख रही है। अगर इस पे सामान वगैरह आपको मिला तो ठीक है, मैं सबको मैसेज डाल दिया है, मिला तो ठीक है, नहीं तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। हम लोग उसको रिकॉर्ड करके रखेंगे, बाद में हम लोग एक बार दिखाएंगे। सिर्फ जस्ट वॉच इतना ही है। और उसके बाद हम लोग को महिला का भजन प्रोग्राम चालू हो जाएंगे उसके बाद। अभी ओवर टू इंदिरा फॉर ओम तत्श्री।
ओम तत्सत् श्री नारायण पुरुषोत्तम गुरुतो सिद्धपुरुषो स्कंद विनायक सविता भावकतु सविता भावकतु ब्रह्ममात्यतो यव्यशक्तितो यशोप्रिया प्रभुतो रुद्रभीष्णतो रामभीष्णतो रये मतावोतु वासुदेव को विश्वरूपतु चिदानंद हरितो अद्वितीयतो अकाल आत्मलिंग शिवतो आत्मलिंग शिवतो आत्मलिंग शिवतो। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षण भक्तजना संरक्षण पार्वती महेश्वर। ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीधर सर्वा प्राणपदे स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे आशिष कल्पन सीता आश्रित कल्पयतीता आवतांडव ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता-पिता गुरुदेव मरियंदयुनीरे स्वामी मरियंदयुनीरे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेंद्र शरण ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप जय शिव साई महादेव सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल हारति हंदुको मंगल हारति हंदुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा ओम शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय साई माता की जय परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूति परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूति परमादरिष्टात् मोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमादरिष्टात् मोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमादरिष्टात् मोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं इदमाश्रयामि। साई राम।
क्या कर रहे दामपु? तो तुम मुझे क्यों नहीं खा रहा?
Sai Ram, thank you very much everyone for joining.